just want to die. That's what I want to do. I want to die. That's what I want to do. I want to crash out right now and just like this like life.
What if a single trip to Jamaica exposed one of Hollywood's darkest secrets? YK Osiris's 2013 trip to Jamaica was allegedly financed by Diddy, and to this day, YK has never denied these allegations. Now, almost 12 years later, YK Osiris is revealing all the details. Diddy is one of the main reasons why Osiris wants to leave the industry. Dark secrets and disturbing video recordings are being exposed, and not even 50 Cent could have expected what Diddy allegedly did to YK Osiris during their secret trip.
Envy, tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talking about rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit!
Right.
Wait, so this is
so Charlamagne said
it's not true, but I told after he brought up this stuff with you, I said, you know what 50 gonna say when he meets you?
Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
See, what you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami. You know it was in Miami. Yo, look, that's what James Cruz used to say all the time. Miami. He's like, Miami. I'm like, what's the matter? What you talking about, Miami? What happened in Miami?
Play the audio.
Back in 2013, YK Osiris started posting about a Jamaica trip where he appeared to be having the time of his life. His stories showed him drinking by the pool and getting massages while staying at a high-end resort. Coincidentally, Diddy was in Jamaica at the same time, though he wasn't posting anything. The shocking part? Just weeks before this expensive trip, YK was crying on Instagram Live, talking about selling everything he owned.
I sold my Lamborghini, I sold my Rolls Royce, I sold my Cadillacs. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Ride that thing. Hey, I'm about to beat that charge. Don't lie. This thing humble yourself. I ain't gonna cap to you. Got a floss for you, nigga. God, I ain't got a floss for you, nigga, man. If y'all gonna think what y'all want to think. If I do got it, don't got it. Y'all gonna think what y'all want to think. I love this hunter.
Throughout his trip, YK Osiris kept tagging Diddy in posts and mentioning him in stories. How does someone who's broke one week end up partying at a 5-star resort the next? Fans had theories. One fan said, I said to myself the moment I didn't see no female or a hint towards him even being with family. I knew it was a man who sponsored the trip I was watching. Another said, everyone forgot it was only Diddy and YK Osiris on that Jamaica trip. There have always been rumors that YK let Diddy use him so Diddy would help pay off his loans. Since his career started, YK has been caught up in debt. There's a reason YK didn't hide his connection to Diddy. It was a humiliation ritual. Diddy wanted people to know what he was doing to Osiris.
They always want you to, you know what these rappers, all these singers, all these big rappers y'all look up to? They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits. They dealing with killing themselves. They dealing with, man, come on, man. Like, dude, like, y'all don't understand, my nigga. Stop saying that it's a God blessing. This is not from God. This is not from God. Business, and I'll be honest with you, bro. I want to get out this music industry because this is not for me. But I do it because I feed my family. But I don't want to be in this. This is not what God want me to do. God don't want me to do this. But I do it to feed my family. I want to get out this. I want to get out of the music industry because yes, you go through pain. You go through this because this is what the devil wants you to go through to destroy yourself. The devil wants you to go through this to destroy yourself. But y'all wouldn't understand because y'all not really, some of y'all, I understand that y'all not really hooked on to it, but this is not what the God wants you to do.
Peel back the layers and Drake's name appears too. Drake humiliated YK on his Instagram story, letting everyone know YK owed him money. The way Drake forced YK to sing and publicly broadcast his financial issues didn't sit right with fans, unfortunately. Drake isn't the only one who did this. YK also got Drake's album tattooed on his leg and got a haircut inspired by the Certified Lover Boy album. A grown man being humiliated and branded with another man's name. Is this really coincidence?
I'm yo.
I don't owe you no more.
You owe me 60 bands, and you have to perform the song right now in the crib. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I'm giving you I'm not Baby. I'm not Boosie. You don't owe me no 2 rags, 5 rags. You owe me 60 bands? I'm playing the song right now. You ready? I need a full...
No more.
You won't owe me no money right now. I swear, I need a full performance though. The real shit though. I'm serious.
You just gotta be ready. Oh, again.
After this, YK was crying, saying Drake doesn't talk to him anymore and has cut him off. Was YK really doing all this for money? According to fans, Diddy takes advantage of YK. One fan wrote, they like them young because they are naive and easily influenced. And manipulated Wick is going to make it because we are praying for him. I see something pure in his spirit and the father takes care of his children he felt alone. And helpless God protect him and let the truth set him free.
Y'all keep using that Drake shit, huh? Drake don't fuck with me either. Me and Drake don't talk. Me and the baby don't talk. Nobody in the shit Osiris. Nobody, so don't keep using that with me. Like, you can't keep using that. Like, stop. Like, we don't talk. The baby don't fuck with me no more. Drake don't fuck with me no more. And nobody fucks with Osiris. So why the fuck I keep living? Like, I should tell y'all that y'all not getting it. Like, so you tell me why should I keep living? I don't get it. Like, why y'all saying like y'all would tell me all the time, but I'm giving y'all explanations.
You struggling? You struggling with them push-ups?
This is exactly what Terrence Howard was talking about. Hollywood is a dark industry that forces you to sell your integrity and manhood for money. Terrence revealed that people who say yes to these deals and give up their integrity can never get the abuse out of their heads. What's the point of success if you have to give up your respect to achieve it?
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. You know, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
Justin Bieber and Usher went through this too. Young men are preyed upon, groomed and used. When they can't forget the memories of abuse, they turn to substances and alcohol. This is why so many artists leave the industry. Justin, YK Osiris, and Aaron Carter, all of them distanced themselves from the industry for this exact reason.
Some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
It's the same story every time, just like YK trying to deny allegations. Justin is now saying no to. The shame of what they went through and what they were forced to do is eating them up.
Bieber breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about. We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the
Dawn Richard, a member of Danity Kane created by Diddy, has testified in the trial. Alleging she was also assaulted by Diddy, Dawn testified that during her time working under Diddy, she and other group members were harassed. Diddy regularly asked her to strip to her underwear during rehearsals, inappropriately touched her, and conducted meetings wearing only underwear, the complaint alleges.
Joined Combs' group Diddy Dirty Money after Danity Kane disbanded. While on the stand, she told jurors that she saw Combs hit Ventura with a skillet full of eggs at his Los Angeles home in 2009. Richard testified per NBC News. He came downstairs asking where his phone was, and he threw her to the ground. He attempted to kick her. She fell to the ground and went into the fetal position, literally trying to hide her head. In addition to striking Ventura with the skillet, Richard said Combs put his arm around the singer's neck and took her upstairs before she heard glass breaking. Richard added, "I was scared for her. I was scared to do anything." Richard's testimony in Combs' ongoing trial comes 8 months after she accused the rapper in a lawsuit of subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment. The lawsuit, filed in September, obtained by E! News, stated, Mr. Combs frequently held meetings with Ms. Richard wearing only his underwear, despite Ms. Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothing. In her filing, the 41-year-old also alleged that Combs ordered her to strip down to her underwear, made demeaning remarks about her body, and entered her dressing room unannounced while she was unclothed, and touched her without her permission.
Attorney Mark Agnifilo is cross-examining Carrie Morgan. She's the former best friend of Cassie Ventura, who spent a lot of time with the couple when they were together between 2008 and 2018, when she stopped speaking with Cassie. Now, they just got into questions about an alleged 2018 attack, where she says Diddy grabbed her by the throat from behind and, in her words, boomeranged a wooden hanger at her head. After the incident, she said she considered filing a lawsuit, but sat down having a conversation with Cassie, and it was her understanding, she testified, that she was going to be paid $30,000, which she accepted, in order to not go to the police, not file a lawsuit, and sign an NDA to not speak about it. Now, Agnifilo wanted to try to establish that the money came from Cassie, but on direct and on cross-examination, in answer to that question, Carrie said it was her understanding that that money was going through Cassie, but being paid to her by Diddy. Now, elsewhere in her testimony, she spoke to the jury about violence that she witnessed at the hands of Diddy, and going toward Cassie specifically, certain events stuck out in her mind, like an incident in Jamaica where the girl said that they were scared and ended up hiding in a ditch for some time. She was also at Cassie's apartment after the 2016 Intercontinental Hallway attack. She said that that police were called. She wasn't exactly sure who called them. She didn't remember that. Cassie testified that it was Morgan who did call police, but that Ventura was completely uncooperative with them, wouldn't answer their questions. But Morgan did say during her testimony on direct and on cross that the police who came to the scene were aware of Ventura's black eyes at the time because they had asked what happened, despite the fact that she would not.
Diddy has a habit of assaulting people working under him in return for inappropriate favors. He would help financially and advance careers. YK was in a vulnerable position and Diddy knew this.
On the stand, she said that guys would climax on her and she would take the cum and rub it on Diddy's nipples. Was this happening in your sessions?
Well, so it is an assumption, right? So, you know, obviously with the veil, there was a very deliberate attempt to hide his identity.
Yeah.
So they never had any interactions or even any outward conversation in my presence. So there was a routine where sometimes we'll be right in the middle of sex and he'll just stand up and walk out of the room. And she would take that cue and she would follow him out. So I did recognize, and you know, I mentioned it in my book, that it became a habit that we're having sex on couches with sheets. We started in towels. I would climax, but she would specifically leave the room without wiping herself, without doing anything to take care of the whatever I left on her. So I assumed that's when he popped up, because once I climbed up, he popped up, he left the room, she popped up, she followed him. So I'm assuming that's when the lathering, whatever went on, happened at that point.
Okay, so at what point did he stop wearing a veil?
It was shortly after. The way that I ended up finding out who he was and they were, because obviously in conjunction with each other, about the fifth time, we were in a hotel called the Essex House. And when I would arrive for the sessions, I would be waiting around a couple of hours. So in this specific time, they put me into an extra room in the hotel suite. And to kill time, I decided to watch TV. And this specific hotel had a welcome message, which was, so when I cut on the TV, it specifically said, Essex House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, like I was blown away.
One victim testifying in Diddy's trial, Jane, has submitted text messages from Diddy as evidence. In these messages, Diddy is heard threatening Jane if she doesn't agree to participate in illegal activities. Diddy didn't care what Jane was going through, and allegedly at one point Jane started crying, but Diddy told her to continue.
Diddy Day 19 and the drama is reaching a fever pitch here in this downtown Manhattan courtroom as one of Diddy's exes dropped new bombshells. Wiping away tears from her eyes, she testified she begged Diddy to stop the freak-offs, texting, "I'm not a porn star. I'm not an animal." A social media influencer and Diddy's girlfriend from 2021 to 2024, she used the pseudonym Jane on the stand. She alleged Diddy coerced her into days-long sex parties with male escorts. Text messages from 2023 introduced today in court reveal just how badly Jane wanted out. "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to perform and fulfill your fantasies. I'm coming to the realization of what this really is. My heart is really in this, and it's breaking. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore." In one of the more dramatic moments, Jane testified that when Cassie's 2023 lawsuit became public, she fainted. She said when she read 3 pages that echoed her own experience with Diddy, it, quote, felt like a nightmare.
Jane's testimony is emotional, but I also say naturally emotional. Sometimes you have witnesses who will testify and get emotional at awkward points in their testimony, but Jane seems very authentic, and that helps her credibility in terms of what she's testifying to.
ABC News legal contributor, attorney, and host of Bad Rap, the case against Diddy, Brian Buckmeyer was in the courtroom.
The Sean Combs of last week and the Sean Combs of this week does seem slightly different in his demeanor. He doesn't seem to be actively engaging in, let's say, body language or communication with the jury. It could be because of this witness or that he knows they're on the verge of cross-examination, potentially starting tomorrow morning. So not as much vigorous head nodding.
Show out of Cassie right here, guys.
And there's more news about Diddy's freak-offs. Sean Deering, a male escort mentioned in court, is speaking with people about his time with Cassie at those sex parties. Sean said he was hired more than a dozen times, starting in late 2014 or early 2015, and the tone changed. I just would say overall, the tone was a little darker towards the last time I'd seen them. It was more of a doing this to please him type of spirit overall. I can tell when the energy was different.
Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend is giving more graphic and emotional testimony. The woman known to the jury as Jane is testifying about a pattern of being pressured into sex acts with multiple strangers while Combs watched. She's even testified to vomiting in the middle of one of these so-called hotel nights, saying Combs responded, "Good, you'll feel better now," and prompted her to continue. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his defense team says any sexual encounters were consensual. ABC's Rena Roy and legal contributor and criminal defense attorney Shauna Lloyd are outside that courthouse with more. Rena, what's the latest?
Well, Diane, Jane has told the jury that whenever she tried to resist having sex with other men, that Sean Combs sort of had a pattern of behavior that included things like persistency and love bombing. At this point, the jury has seen a lot of text messages between Jane and Sean Combs. One where Jane says, "I'm not trying to have sex with strangers to fulfill your fetishes." And Combs tells her, "You got it all wrong."
The whole point of this trial is showing Diddy wasn't working alone. He had support and an entire network helping him carry out these illegal activities. One co-conspirator, Diddy's chief of staff Christian Combs, is the only one named in the trial so far. Described as the Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy's Jeffrey Epstein, Christian had evidence on her phone proving Diddy paid bribes to destroy evidence.
Korn, please report to the front. But y'all know I reported the other day that Christina Korn was named as a co-conspirator in the Diddy trial. Y'all know me. I like to try to drop court doc evidence when I am talking about something, and I was finally able to find a piece of the transcript where they named Christina Korn as a co-conspirator. So let me show you. I'm absolutely shocked that a lot of the mainstream media are not covering this, because this is the first co-conspirator that has been confirmed by the federal government. Like, where y'all at? Government was actually playing this very funny. They were playing no games when they name dropped Christina Korn as a co-conspirator. They were arguing with Diddy's team about a text message that they wanted to show to the jury that Cassie Ventura sent to Christina Korn, talking about Brianna Bongolan being hung over the balcony. They were listing all of the reasons why they thought that this text message should be used as evidence to be shown to the jury. One of their many reasonings was because they thought that it was a state of mind evidence. They said it was important here to think that Miss Ventura is expressing fear of Mr. Combs to Christina Korn, who is an agent and a co-conspirator of Mr. Combs. It's not confirmed in court that Christina Korn will for sure testify against Diddy, but we can assume by the amount of evidence that they have on Christina Korn, including confiscating her cell phone that has evidence on it, that she's probably going to flip. She will be given some type of deal if she does flip. That way she's not risking doing life in prison if Diddy goes down for RICO. Because if one goes down, the whole enterprise that you're connected to goes down unless you start.
From YK Osiris to Justin Bieber, from Terrence Howard to Jane, too many voices are finally rising. Revealing the industry's darkest corners, what happened in Jamaica was never just a vacation. It was a warning sign, a glimpse into a system that preys on the vulnerable, humiliates them publicly, then disposes of them once they break. The truth is coming out and Diddy's empire may be crumbling. How many more stories like YK Osiris's are out there? When will the music industry stop turning a blind eye? The mainstream won't tell these real stories.